Shout out to G-Man Boxing.
Alright people, so I done a video on, I think I released it on Thursday, about some more keys to victory for Oleksandr Usyk that he could use against Anthony Joshua. Now obviously, prediction video tomorrow, in the diary, 6 o'clock UK time. That's going to premiere on this channel. People have been asking me my thoughts on it, and I've had a few back and forth thoughts on it, and no, I'm 100% in my prediction what I think is going to happen, as in like I'm not changing my mind on my pick, which you'll obviously see tomorrow. But obviously I've talked about Usyk's, some of the other key strengths that he has, keys to victory we'll say, and I'm going to do one on Anthony Joshua. Now again, a lot of people have Usyk as the favourite, and that's understandable given how the first fight went. People are asking, realistically, what more could Anthony Joshua do? Is it a case of, is he going to be more aggressive? Is he going to pack weight on and try and manhandle Usyk? Well, I say look at some of the things that he does well. And if he can implement these, a bit like when I did about his 3 reasons why I think he wins, if he can implement these other 3 reasons, then I think he has a very good chance against Oleksandr Usyk. He's a very good chance against any heavyweight, truth be told, not just Oleksandr Usyk. AJ has some very good key strengths, as does Oleksandr Usyk, as does Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, etc. All these fighters have different strengths and weaknesses. You look at Deontay Wilder, he's got a lot of weaknesses, but Jesus Christ, he can turn your lights out with that right hand. Like that. Even now, even if he's not the fighter he was, power is the last thing to go. It's not going to go anytime soon. So you have to look at it in that aspect. Now with Anthony Joshua, again, not going to keep this too long, but we'll have a look on screen. The uppercut. The uppercut, the uppercut, the uppercut. I've said it once, I'll say it again. Anthony Joshua's uppercut, it's a very underrated punch. It's a punch that not enough people really, when they're fighting him, are really wary of. The way he can sneak it in, as he did against Klitschko, as he set it up with the jab against Kubrat Pulev, that's a skill. He has a skill for throwing that shot. Anthony Joshua, people say like Wilder is a bigger puncher with the right hand, and he certainly is. And Wilder will knock your lights out, he will. But Joshua's punch selection is much better. He's much better at punching with both hands. Is he gonna knock your lights out with one shot, boom, bam, it's over, you're out cold? Depending on the opponent, I think it's fair to say. He certainly doesn't have the highlight reel knockouts that Deontay Wilder does, in terms of seeing guys just fall unconscious. But Joshua's power is definitely real. Oh, it's 100% real. And he's very heavy-handed. And that uppercut, he sets it up with the jab. So obviously, and that's how you should set an uppercut up, with the jab. Depending on what hand you're using, truth be told, actually. If you're setting up for maybe a left jab, left uppercut, and you're coming from the orthodox stance, it might be better to just throw a little straight right. This is just for anyone who's learning boxing. It might be better to just throw a little, just kind of right hand out, just to blind them, and then set it up with the left. But more often than not, if you're from the orthodox stance, your power uppercut is going to be the right uppercut. You're going to lead with the jab and follow through with the uppercut. And Joshua does that, and he follows it through very well. When he's up close and inside, he's very accurate with it. He's got good leverage on the shot. He punches right up through the target. So it's a tremendous shot. And as I said several times, against Oleksandr Usyk, in the southpaw stance, Usyk does have a tendency. His head movement is very good. It is. The way he's able to read shots coming, he's able to move his head is very good. But there are times where he does just typical, arms up, earmuffs on. And an uppercut like that, when you're using a jab to disguise it, thrown from the orthodox stance, is tremendous. And looking at Anthony Joshua's uppercuts are very, very good. It's from what I've seen since he's turned pro, his uppercut's a tremendous shot. And against Oleksandr Usyk, he didn't use it in the first fight at all, really. And when he did try and use it, Usyk was able to read it. But when he was trying to use it, he wasn't setting it up. He was just trying to bully Usyk and let the uppercuts go on the inside. If he sets it up, he'll have a lot more success, in my opinion. In terms of the next key strength for Anthony Joshua, will be his shot selection. Specifically, right now, he's going to have to be, you're going to hear me out with this, because it's going to you might say it's going to counteract with the last point, right? But hear me out. AJ is going to need to fight a disciplined fight, but he's also probably going to have to change things up as he goes along. And early on in the fight, I would advise AJ to focus on setting up, just early on, single shots to head and to body. single hard right hands to the head and body, single hard left hooks to the head and body, setting it up with your jab, and looking to land hard shots. Looking to give Oleksandr Usyk something to think about. And AJ can do that. That's how he was able to get Povetkin out of there, as you'll see by the clips I just showed there. That's how he was able to get Povetkin out. Setting up single hard shots, using his jab. He was going to head and body, right? Hard shots to the head, hard shots to the body. They're both just as effective. And that's how he was able to get Povetkin out. And again, it's something that I feel he didn't do enough in the Oleksandr Usyk fight. He tried to get shots off. Usyk's trajectory and his range was very good. I really did think that AJ's right hand would be more effective in the Usyk fight than it was. I actually thought that of the two fighters, AJ's right hand had a little bit more, going into the fight now, AJ's right hand had a little bit more than Usyk's straight left. And what I mean by that is that AJ's right hand was just better. You know, it was just, it had more power in it. It was longer. It might have even been a little bit more sharp. He was able to extend it a bit better. I just assumed, just based on what I was watching in terms of both guys, how their careers have been and little traits they have, I kind of assumed Joshua's right hand would be better on the night. I was wrong, evidently. You know, Usyk was able to set that left hand up from very early on in the first round. But AJ is going to need... AJ didn't change it up. If he can change that right hand up the head to body, if he can even change the trajectory of the shot, even if he loops it and arcs it a little bit, just to go around Usyk's, you know, get it around the guard, away from his peripheral vision, again, it could pay dividends. And this then leads on to the next point, which is effective pressure. If AJ is looking to pressure Oleksandr Usyk, as you see there when he fought Dillian Whyte, he had that killer instinct. Now, he's talking about getting that killer instinct back in this fight. Whether he does or not remains to be seen, right? As far as I'm concerned, you know, you're trying to build up this killer instinct. That's all well and good. But then you're hanging out with guys like AKA Skins, and that's just gonna, you know, the killer instinct ain't there. You know, I mean, you want to be hanging around against guys who are bringing out that kind of bit of killer in you, and AKA Skins ain't going to do that. But if Joshua can get back to what he was there in 2015 against Dillian Whyte in that fight, as you saw in the first round, he was goading Dillian Whyte. He was wanting to put a hurting on him. That was Joshua back then. Now, he needs to be effective with that. And what I mean by that is he needs to be careful as well. He needs to make sure that he doesn't punch himself out trying to do it with Oleksandr Usyk if he is having success. He also needs to be aware that Oleksandr Usyk is far more elusive than Dillian Whyte, that he's far better than Dillian Whyte. So what he could get away with from Dillian Whyte in that fight might not be able to get away with Oleksandr Usyk. But if he can have that kind of approach where he's letting some shots go later on, maybe when he feels like he's settled into the fight, and he can maybe pin Usyk up against the ropes, be effective with it, go to head and body, and try and get that meanness, that killer instinct that he clearly had in that Dillian Whyte fight. Now, saying that, after he got caught by Dillian Whyte in that second round, he did... I don't want to... He knew Dillian Whyte could hurt him at that point, and he kind of went to be a bit more cautious after that in the fight. Right now, he was hurt by Usyk in the first fight several times. So I think he's going to know, I can't just gun at this guy, you know, and expect him not to be able to hurt me. He's hurt me before. But if I'm a little bit more cautious with it, if I take a little bit more sensible approach, as well as looking to take his head off, I can have some good success in here. They're the three reasons there. As I said, get the prediction video out tomorrow, 6 p.m. I hope you are all going to enjoy it. I have a lot to talk about both guys. It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a great fight, and I'm really looking forward to doing the prediction video for you guys tomorrow. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Smash the like button if you could, subscribe of course if you haven't already. People, I'll talk to you. Peace.